Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Dealership Download. Tonight we have our special guest, Mr. Bert. Bert, before we get started, tell us who you are, what you do, and how people can find you on social media.
I'm Bert Cruz. I sell Chevrolets, and all my online things are Cruise with Bert.
And what social media platforms are you on, Bert?
So you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
Make sure everybody goes and follows Bert. He's got some great content out there. And if you need to, just a little bit, send him a red heart. Send him a red heart in his comments if you came from watching this podcast. So, Bert, my next question for you is what made you decide to start doing social media?
That's a very good question. I started doing social media because I wanted to grow my customer base. So I wanted to be more known in the area. But it looks like now it's not just in the area. I'm starting to get clients from all over the U.S. I mean, I've even seen some views outside of the country, which is crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to grow my presence online.
So, with starting doing social media, what are some of the challenges that you have faced now, starting to gain that presence and having people from all across, the United States that now see your content and start corresponding with it?
A couple of challenges I think I have had. Man, that's a good question. I know for sure with now recording the videos and things like that, a lot of new things I had to learn as far as like time management, because when you first start, it's pretty hard going in and recording a video and then learning how to edit a video. But shortly I started picking it up and you get better as you go. The main challenge, though, I think I expected this to be like a overnight thing. I wanted to, start posting. It's like, people are going to start reaching out to me, and that's not the case. This thing takes time to truly build the right way. Just because someone sees my video doesn't mean like they're going to stop what they're doing and go buy a car from me. And I kind of went into it with that mindset. So I've adjusted, and I know this is like a long-term thing. So I would say that was probably my biggest challenge is getting over that.
So, now that you've gotten over kind of that mind block that you had, do you feel like it's easier to make the content, post the content, and have a little bit more fun with it now?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's taken me less than 30 minutes to film a video or two and have it edited. So yeah, for sure,
Okay.
it's definitely easier.
Now, what made you decide to get into the automotive industry? And how
Um,
long have you been in it for?
so I've been selling Chevys for the last 6 years. What got me in it was actually my best friend from high school. His dad owned a dealership, and right after high school, I started working for him in the parts department. But I always wanted to try car sales. And so I was still going to college then, and they're like, this is like a very like you have to be very focused for this job. I don't, they were like, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to put all your time into college and then, all your time into car sales because this is a profession with very long hours, right? So eventually, after I was done with college, I got the opportunity to sell cars with them here at this dealership that I'm at. So really, it was because of my best friend and his dad. They talked and they gave me the opportunity, and I took it and I ran with it, and I haven't looked back.
That's awesome. So don't see you going anywhere anytime soon then.
No,
Staying in the automotive industry.
staying. Yeah, I don't see any. I don't foresee any big changes coming in my future, but of course, you never know what that's going to hold.
For sure. So getting a little bit more kind of into the personal side of it. What are some of the biggest struggles that you have faced, and what lessons did you learn out of those struggles that you have faced within the industry?
Your mindset. That is the biggest thing. I think when you're in car or in any kind of sales, your mindset's everything because you're gonna go through a lot of number one negative people. A lot of changes and drastic and quick changes on a daily basis. So um, you literally got to wake up, have your mindset straight, and be positive all the time. And up until no joke, probably a year ago, negativity was like on my mind daily, and I'm starting to get better and better at it every day. So I would say mindset. That's huge. As long as you can come in with a good mindset every day, you go home with a good mindset every day. That that's a big plus that you're going to be able to not have such a negative lifestyle, right?
So, what are some things that you did to put yourself back into that positive mindset and having a better mindset going into work?
So always self-reflect with you every day. What did I do wrong today, or what did I do right? Yeah, definitely pat yourself on the back for the right things you did because sometimes all the bad stuff you did will offset the good. But um, self-reflect with yourself. I mean, even if you have to talk to yourself in the mirror, and then be careful who you surround yourself with in this industry, and I'm sure in all the other industry, like I said earlier, you're going to deal with a lot of negative people. So have a very small circle of people that you're going to trust, and pick one person that you can, y'all piggyback out of each other, and motivate each other. So, yeah, those two things.
Next question, going to be a little bit of a deep question as well. What are some of the things that inspire you to keep going every single day in this industry? To just keep learning, keep growing, and keep doing better? Because you're on these lives with us every day. You're constantly learning. One thing I've noticed is you write down notes all the time. And like before somebody starts talking, you're always like, hold on, wait a minute. Let me make sure I have my like get my pen and pad.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, so uh, in anything you do, the day you quit learning is the day you become comfortable. And I think it happens to everybody in the car business or in sales in general. You get to the point where you're comfortable, right? And so for a while, that was me. Actually, another reason why I started doing content because I wanted to grow, right? But yeah, so once you become comfortable, you quit learning. And so me getting into content creation and then meeting a lot of other car people was a huge plus into continuing to go because like you see and you meet the people that are successful doing this. It's like, well, I want to be like that guy, or I want to be better than that guy. I want to one up it. So yeah, just having um, the right people around you again.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone thinking about entering into the automotive industry, what advice would you give them?
Um, so definitely come in with a open mind, come in with your ears open. Um, take everything you can in, work off of it, make it your own process, and go from there because and unfortunately also some places most places don't train you. So actually, let's change it to that one. Since most dealerships actually don't train you the right way, I would say start learning from other people. Get connected with people that are into business, and go from there. Take it day by day. Come in positive and learn everything you can. Become a literal sponge, and then start implementing your own things.
Solid advice. There's nothing on that that I disagree with. The last question that I'm going to ask you before we go open panel with Zach and Danny. What is one thing that you wish you could change about this industry and why?
Um, Man, that's a really good question. The one thing I would say is all for me. I guess it would be all the pricing discrepancies. Like, there's literally every dealership is different. You know, the way they price things. Um, I personally think purchasing a car should be a great experience, a fun one. You know, you're looking at potentially purchasing the second biggest and depreciating investment, right? Because the vehicle depreciates. So I don't think the process should be difficult. I don't think the process should be misleading. So something to where um, truly the experience matters, instead of just like having dealerships post deceptive pricing, and that way there's an even playing field to where experience truly matters for the people that are trying to do the right thing out there. um, Sometimes, you know, we get kind of hidden because of things like that, you know. So something along the lines of having the dealerships on an even playing field so that way the experience can truly shine, and that way consumers know like where they're actually being taken care of, where they're gonna be taken care of after the purchase. I mean, because that's huge. Most places, you know, you don't even hear from your salespeople after you get your tags.
Bert, you've had really good answers. Really good answers. I've got one final question that I'm going to ask you, but I'm not going to ask it until the end of the
Okay,
podcast.
yeah, it's
So, with
fine.
that being said, for everybody listening in, make sure you do go follow Cruise with Bert. He is on all social media platforms. Again, hi, I'm Taylor, sign with Taylor. And then we've got Danny Nissan and crazy car sales guy, Zach. Zach, Danny, floor is yours.
Well, Mr. Burt,
Mr.
I know,
Danny.
I know that we met, and I'm not gonna forget this. We met because Taylor sent me a invite to your life, and I was like, "Who is this guy? Like, like, why is Taylor sending me this guy?" Because I'm like you said, I like to keep my friends close and the small circle, right? So I'm like, "Ah, who's this guy?" And I remember, dude, I signed in and I'm like, you know what? I kind of like this guy. And then you invite me up. And I'm like, this is a very cool dude. So from the time we met to the time now, what have you learned?
Man, a lot. So I started creating content about 4.5 months ago. In this short time period of 4.5 months, I mean, it's just been insane, connecting with all you guys because like all you guys have certain way of doing things, you know, and you've got your own processes. So learning little bits from each and one of y'all, I mean, has been insane, from the style of content you post, the way you take care of your customers. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, I've got several like notebooks full already, and I can't imagine how much more I'm going to learn. And all of us together as time progresses, because whenever I figure out something that I've done right, you know, share it with everybody else, and vice versa, that I've also learned from y'all.
So my next question, Bert, like I said, we met through TikTok Live because of Miss Taylor. My next question is, what are you moving on, working on right now? Like, what's your next move? What are you trying to grow in the TikTok world or in the car business world?
I want to be able to start selling lots of cars off of my social media. That's kind of my number one thing right now, is learning how to create my content into a lead source, basically, right? So that way I'm not having to rely on the dealership for opportunities. And then alongside with that, I mean, I am also becoming more of a valuable person to the dealership because I'm bringing my own business in, right? So that's kind of my number one focus right now is growing on social media and then having my content start creating leads for me.
If you had to go back in time when you first started social media, what would you change?
When I first started social media, I would do a lot of the funny stuff, which it's great, you're making people laugh, but the thing you have to ask yourself, are people actually learning from your content? When someone's learning from your content, that means you're providing value. And if you're providing value, at some point they're going to trust you and then purchase a car from you. So going back to when I first started, I would have started adding more informational content instead of just being funny stuff, funny stuff, funny stuff.
I like that. Mr. Zach, got anything for Bert?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the talking about the process. I love that because I've been doing this for a long time. So, what is your process of making you different than other people? And then your follow-up process, if you would like to share it with us.
Yeah, so like from start to end.
Sure.
So for example, um, we'll just use an example. If someone knows exactly what they want, I've got it on the lot, they reach out, right? So make sure first I want to make sure that that is 100% the vehicle that they want. So I want to make sure and I do a needs analysis basically, so that way we can ensure that all the features they want, it's part of that package. Um, then you go and have the client come in, of course, so that way they can see the vehicle in person. I like it when a client comes in and actually gets to experience the vehicle. But I know we're going through some different times, so which I'm totally okay with people buying cars online. It happens every day. But just for me, it's exciting because you get to actually show the vehicle off, right? You get to show the product and teach them about things. After that, if they love the vehicle, we move forward onto the basically the quote, right? Making sure it's going to fit within their budget, get their vehicle looked at, appraised, and then from there, get them in and out as quick as possible from the dealership. That way, they're not there all day long. And after, if everything goes well, everything works out perfect, they go and sign, do all their paperwork. And then from there, I personally go over every button on that vehicle if they want me to. Unless like, they're coming from one just like it, they're gonna know most of the stuff. So I typically just cover whatever's different on that vehicle. But I typically go over every single button on that vehicle that they choose. From there, we take a picture. I always respect the people that don't want to take pictures. So I get in there myself and keep their name anonymous. And from there, I follow up with them the next day, make sure no questions came up. Every client that, or every person that buys or doesn't buy from me, they have access to my personal phone number because if they do buy from me, they don't just buy the vehicle, they get me too. I'm going to be there the next week, the next 3 months, or the next 3 to 6 years if a question ever comes up on that specific vehicle or anything in general.
Love it. That is awesome. So, at this point in time, we've been asking you a ton of questions. Let's flip this around. Do you have any questions for anybody or everybody on the panel?
Yeah. If any of you guys watch my content, what do you think could be better? What am I lacking? What's something I can add? What's y'all's take on my content? Be completely honest.
I don't think you're lacking on your content. I think you're growing into your content. If you watch your content from when you first started doing it to now, you can see your confidence is starting to grow and you're starting to adjust to what the market is not well, what the market is calling for on the content, right? At first, you were doing your funny videos. You weren't very confident doing it. And then you started getting a little bit more confident. And now you're putting out a lot of the informational videos. Like you just did one not too long ago. I think it was on the Traverse where you were showing like three things you may not know about a Traverse. Or
Equinox. Well, the second one,
Equinox.
it was an Equinox. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that one has done very well for you.
Yeah.
And I've watched the comments and people are interacting that didn't know that what it had, things like that. So I think it's not that you're bad at the content per se, you've just grown confident in doing it now and you're adjusting with the market. And if you just keep up that consistency, I don't, you're not going to struggle with it.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. Like literally the other, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, for some reason, I went back and looked at my old content. I was like, I can't believe I posted this. But
But you get to watch yourself grow
that's the
from
beautiful
what
thing
you,
about it. You can literally watch yourself grow. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. Everything is content, and you will, no matter how much you want to make a video go crazy, sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, and that's it. I think all of us and you have you've seen it. If you went back and watched your content, I do it too, and I'm like, oh, what was I doing? And now I'm like, hey, it's okay. I'm still gonna do it. And sometimes I'll fall back on it, and sometimes I won't, and sometimes I have 100 views, sometimes I have 20 views. It is what it is. So
Yeah.
as long as you keep moving forward and keeping your head straight, that's gonna always be key to creating that best content.
For sure. And that's actually another thing I struggled with. Whenever I got my first taste of a viral to me video, okay, and, that was 190,000 views at first. And after that, it's like you you expect every video to do that. And that's not the case. You're gonna get humbled really quick. And so for a whole week, like I was on this high. It's like, oh my gosh, like, it's working. I'm gonna get noticed, and then it's like all the rest of the videos, 200, 300 views, lucky if you break 1,000. But that was another thing I had to get over is I expected and I wanted to have every video go viral, and it's not going to be the case. And so yeah, that was another thing I had to mentally drill myself about. Like, you got to take it chill, take it step by step, and go from there.
Keep it up because like I've been doing it probably a month longer than you, but you have just been like boom, dude. Like I post probably a video once every 3 weeks, maybe a month, and it's just like I'm not getting anywhere because I'm not focused on it. I'm not building it like you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw you where you started with those videos, and now it's like, whoa, like I think he's starting to become too famous. Doesn't want to talk to me, you know. So,
Nah,
but
always going to be here for you guys.
and that's the thing is like I want to learn from you, right? Everybody can learn from each other. Like Taylor can teach me something new, Zach can teach me something new, Bert, you can teach me something new. Everybody has different ideas, and that's what we're here for is to grow each other, right? And to lift each other up. So I mean, you're doing a good job. I saw Russ Flips Whips, uh, pull up your profile and you're doing good, dude. Like there was this other guy. He's like, well, you don't post videos, so I'm not even gonna like view your account. And I'm like, oh, that's me. Like I'm like that guy too. I need to focus on doing better. So keep it up, Bert. You're doing a good job, dude.
Thanks, man. I truly appreciate that. I'm glad people are noticing. And most importantly, I'm glad people are learning. Within the last 3 to 4 informational videos that I posted, a lot of the comments were like, "Hey, like keep this up because I bought this Chevy Blazer and I didn't even know I could do that to it." So it's really nice to see it start paying off, and paying off in the sense of like people are actually learning from it, right? Because that was the goal, to provide value for people, um, in hopes of them thinking of me when they're looking for their next vehicle.
Bert, as we come to the end of this, one final question I want to ask you. Okay.
Here we go.
And it's not a question to like just think on. It's first instinct answer.
Okay.
If you had the attention of everybody in the automotive industry for 60 seconds, what would you say? Your time starts now.
For everyone in the automotive business, man, for me it would be try to do the right thing. You absolutely can do the right thing, still take care of people, and by doing it the right way, the only thing that's going to come from that is good. Um, I don't foresee any negative thing from you trying to take care of clients that at the end of the day they're the ones that help us pay our bills. So give people a good experience when they're purchasing their vehicle. That way it's exciting for them, and it's something that they can go back and say like, man, whenever I purchased that 2026 Silverado, I'd never had an experience like that. I get that all the time, and they will forever remember that experience and remember who ended up taking care of them at the end. So that would be my message for everybody.
Everybody give a round of applause to Bert. With that being said, everybody, this does conclude this episode of the Dealership Download. Make sure you go watch our previous episode with Tony with the Keys. We do have an exciting guest next week as well. Make sure you do go follow Mr. Cruz with Bert on all TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, make sure you click the link in our previous video and order the book that I just published. You guys have a great night.